We're going to get Reed Harrison today. Just
Yeah.
look with that frame. How do you with fades over the middle? How does he make that frame work for him in the football field?
Yeah, he's got great athletic ability. He's got really good balance and body control. He's worked very hard to improve his catch skills, his knowledge of the offense. He's very competitive. Shows up every day. He's a BC guy. He's from Montana. He's got an awesome family, great mom. Mom was out here last year. Got a chance to meet her. So Reed's a really good player.
How did he make the transition from Tommy over to Grayson too? I mean, that's all of a sudden that's an abrupt change. Is he just one of those guys that can adapt to any situation like that?
You're talking about Reed?
Yeah.
Yeah, Reed. Yeah, Reed. I don't think Reed. At the end of the day, Reed just wants the ball.
Okay.
I'm sure he's got a great friendship with all those guys, no matter who the quarterback is. But Reed just adapts, and whoever's throwing him the ball, he's the type of guy that just wants the ball.
And last thing on him, just what about his blocking? Is he a guy that can get downfield and
I mean, he's gotten better at blocking. I mean,
Okay.
he's a big guy. He made a nice block today, I think, on an outside run, and I think that's improved a lot. Over the time that we've been here. Yeah, I think he does a good job blocking.
Okay.
How was the way you evaluate spring ball changed over the course of your career?
Say that again.
How was the way you evaluate spring ball changed over the course of your career?
Spring ball's been the one thing that hasn't, in my career, that hasn't really changed as much. I think since I started at Georgia Tech, you've always been allowed 15 practices, and over basically a 5-week span. I don't see a lot of changes. I mean, look, spring ball is all about bringing the team together, physically, mentally, getting as good as you can possibly be. For us, it's about establishing a physical identity and trying to be as physical as possible within the rules of being in shells, being in full pads, and all that. But I love spring ball. I think it's a great chance to be around your team. I get the chance to be around this team every single day, which I really enjoy coaching this team. So I really enjoy spring ball.
Going back to Richard's question, this time last year is when Reed sort of, made his presence known. VJ Vokins is doing that this year.
Yeah.
What have you seen from him?
VJ's a great addition to our team. He's got good speed, good route running ability. We saw that at Campbell. He's a guy that's got a great spirit, right? He brings a great energy to practice every day. It doesn't say much, but he's just got a great demeanor about him, and love coaching VJ. Really, really happy that he's on our team.
Any other guys who have made a big jump from the start of spring until now in your eyes?
Look, I think there's a lot of improved guys. I'll tell you, Ced McConnell on the defensive line, I think he's done a great job. I think Eric Store's done a great job on the offensive line. I've been very happy with those two guys. But there's a lot of guys that have, improved a lot. There's a lot of, guys that are walk-ons. Here we go again with this, this 105 rule, which is the dumbest rule ever.
Your least favorite?
My least favorite rule. But, we have a lot of walk-ons. There's a tight end, Brady Clough, who's done an excellent job. Tim Hayes, Juan Zabal, guys that show up every day. Zach Kelly, Billy Van Pelt. We have guys that show up every single day that really have improved over the course of our time being here.
You mentioned one of the linebackers right there. One we haven't seen since the first day, Jalen Blackwell. Any update on him at all?
Yeah, no, he's out. Yeah, he'll be out for a little while here. No real update on him. It's just a lower leg deal, and he's in there rehabbing, working hard to try to get back at some point. But yeah, he'll be out for a while.
Just on the linebackers, Vaughn Pemberton has stood out.
Yeah.
He came in as a running back. What have you seen from him?
Yeah, first of all, glad to have Vaughn transferred in here from Ball State. Great family. His dad, Steve, went to school here. Awesome member of our alumni. And so Vaughn came in as a running back, and we needed some depth at linebacker, so we asked him to move, and he was for it. And so he's done a really good job of going over there. He's got good instincts. He can run. He's learning our defense, but he's really showed up a lot the last few practices. So I think that was a really good move for our team and for Vaughn.
You mentioned Juan Zabal. Can you tell us more about his story?
Yeah, Juan is awesome, man. I mean, Juan, is from Mexico, went to IMG, walked on here, basically has paid his own way here. We put him on scholarship a few weeks ago, which was, our pleasure to do that. I mean, he's a tough guy. He's a hard-working guy. He's what BC's all about, right? He's a guy that puts his heart and soul into the football team, but also the campus. He's very involved in campus. And Juan's going to be a massive success when he graduates from BC, no doubt about it.
Anything on Dylan? How is he acclimated to the team and understanding the playbook?
Yeah, Dylan's done a good job. I mean, he's smart. Dylan's, been in an offense at Alabama that was similar to ours. He's done a really good job. I think it's hard to come in and just jump right in, but he's done that. He's he's done a good job of learning the playbook and made some nice plays out there. I think all the quarterbacks, though, I do want to be clear about that. Grayson James has done a really good job. Shaker Reisig, for this guy should be going to his prom, right? He should still be in high school, and he's done an excellent job. Really impressed with all those guys. The quarterback room is really one of the best rooms on our team.
Amari Jackson, any update on him?
I think he's coming along really well. Yeah, he's working with Fitz a lot, and I project him to be ready for training camp.
A lot of talk lately nationally just about, joint practices, spring games, all that. Any thoughts on that potentially being something that college football could move to?
Yeah, look, I've always been for, going against another school, maybe a regional school. It didn't necessarily have to be a Power 4 school either. Like have a scrimmage in the spring or during training camp. I've always been for that, but it's never been done. So I wouldn't even know how to go about getting something like that done. But I think it's sure, let's do it. But I don't see it ever happening. But we'll see.
Lester, does spring ball kind of begin when you got those extra 15 practices before Nebraska?
Yeah,
Kind of.
no doubt. No, that's a great point. I think that's a big part of, a lot of these guys had the chance to play in the Nebraska game, obviously practice a lot for that game. And I think those guys are, those are some of the guys that are really improved the most, right? The Mickos, the Dohertys, the guys on defense that played a lot, the McConnells, Bryce Steele played in that game. Those type of guys that got a lot of playing time. Ashton McShane, I think they've done a really good job.
Just one more for me.
Yeah.
Bill Parcells is going to the Patriots Hall of Fame.
Oh, nice.
Robert Kraft said it today.
Oh, that's awesome.
As a New England guy, just any thoughts? And do you ever have any interactions with him?
Yeah, no, he's, I've spoken to him a couple of times, don't know him very well, not saying that, but when I was the coach of the Texans, spoke to him a few times. Congratulations to him. I think it's long overdue. He was an awesome coach, Hall of Fame NFL coach and a great Patriot coach that, set the Patriots on the path, to where they took it. Obviously, Coach Belichick took it for 25 years, an unbelievable level. But Coach Parcells, he's somebody that I've always looked up to, and congratulations to him.